Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said Thursday he hopes that training for Ukrainian pilots on American-made F-16 fighter jets will begin in the coming weeks, bolstering Ukraine in the long run, but not necessarily as part of an anticipated spring counteroffensive against Russia. Austin spoke as defense leaders from around the world assembled for a virtual meeting to discuss the ongoing military support for Ukraine. They were expected to talk about which countries will provide F-16s and how and where the pilot training will be done. The officials will also get an update on the war effort from Ukrainian leaders, including preparation for that anticipated counteroffensive and how the allies who have faced their own stockpile pressures can continue to support Kyiv's fight against Russia. We're going to have to dig deeper, and we're going to have to continue to look for creative ways to boost our industrial capability, Austin said before the military leaders began their closed session. The stakes are high, but the cause is just and our will is strong. European countries have said they are talking about which countries may have some of the F-16s available. The United States had long balked at providing the advanced aircraft to Ukraine, and only last weekend did President Joe Biden agree to allow other nations to send their own US-made jets to Kyiv. We hope this training will begin in the coming weeks, Austin said. This will further strengthen and improve the capabilities of the Ukrainian Air Force in the long term, and it will complement our short-term and medium-term security agreements. This new joint effort sends a powerful message about our unity and our long-term commitment to Ukraine's self-defense. The leaders will also likely discuss Ukraine's other continuing military needs, including air defense systems and munitions, artillery, and other ammunition. It was not immediately clear whether they will make any firm decisions on the F-16 issue, but initial steps have begun. Josep Borrell, the European Union's foreign policy chief, said Tuesday that training for Ukrainian pilots had begun in Poland and some other countries, though Polish Defense Minister Mariusz Błaszczak said training was still in the planning phase. The Netherlands and Denmark, among others, are also making plans for training. We can continue and also finalize the plans that we're making with Denmark and other allies to start these trainings. And of course, that is the first step that you have to take, Dutch Defense Minister Kadza Ollongren said, adding that initial discussions about who may have F-16s available to send is underway. Ukraine has long sought the sophisticated fighter to give it a combat edge as it battles Russia's invasion, now in its second year. The Biden administration's decision was a sharp reversal after refusing to approve any transfer of the aircraft or conduct training for more than a year because of worries that doing so could escalate tensions with Russia. U.S. officials also had argued against the F-16 by saying that learning to fly and logistically support such an advanced aircraft would be difficult and take months. Air Force Brigadier General Pat Ryder, the Pentagon press secretary, said this week that the U.S. decision on the F-16 was part of a broader long-term commitment to meet Ukraine's future military needs. He said the jets would not be relevant in any counteroffensive expected to begin shortly. The Biden administration has signaled to European allies in recent weeks that the U.S. would allow them to export F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. Sources familiar with the discussion said, as the White House comes under increasing pressure from members of Congress and allies to help Ukraine procure the planes amid intensifying Russian aerial attacks. Administration officials are not aware, however, of any formal requests by any allies to export F-16s, and State Department officials who would normally be tasked with the paperwork to approve such third-party transfers have not been told to get to work, officials said. A handful of European countries have a supply of the US-made F-16s, including the Netherlands, which has signaled a willingness to export some of them to Ukraine. But the US would have to approve that third-party transfer because of the jet's sensitive US technology. While the US remains reluctant to send any of its own F-16s to Kyiv, US officials told CNN that the administration is prepared to approve the export of the jets to Ukraine if that is what allies decide to do with their supply. National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications, John Kirby, declined to comment specifically on the possibility of the U.S. sending F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine, but said broadly that the U.S. has been forward-looking about future capabilities and needs.
Один заряжай!